Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Seriously Hilarious Podcast with Shonda and V.
Hey.
This this week we're going to talk about dating in 2025. So I know the dating landscape in 2025 has been crazy. I ran across this article by Dominique Fluker. I think that's how you say her name. It was in Essence, and an excerpt from it, she says, as the dating landscape continues to shift, for Black women must be more adaptable, nimble, and open to discover the love we so greatly deserve. To reclaim our time and maintain our peace, we must prioritize relationships that align with our values and principles. It's time to come up with a tangible dating plan full of hacks and trends to look out for and apply, as this year will be about moving away from the superficial and curating relationships that feel fulfilling, authentic, and aligned. So one of the dating trends she had was intentional dating. She says in 2025, single people will be dating purposefully and not just focusing on physical attraction. People today are showing up more authentically and communicating their intentions early because alignment is key. Thinking each other is cute will get you into a relationship, but won't lead to a healthy, sustainable one.
Say that.
So, Shonda, what do you think about that?
I agree. I agree that we should be intentional and honest with ourselves because otherwise you set yourself up for the okie. And although, there are males that don't mind um, fogginess as far as what the expectation is, and they just, want your energy and your company and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I think women, we kind of know what our end goal is, and we need to stick to that.
Yes, I most definitely think we need to be more intentional about dating and being more strict about what we want, setting our boundaries, being more communicative about the things that we want out of a relationship because these men are getting away with bloody murder. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like men are literally out here trying to fool women into thinking it's okay to just have sex. It's okay. Let's organically grow. Let's see where it goes. Okay. But that don't mean I got to be laying around with you. We just seeing where it goes. We just gonna be dating. But then if you just want to date and you don't want to have sex, now it's a problem.
A big
Uh,
problem. Mm-hmm.
if I'm intentionally dating with a purpose, right? That means I'm like trying to either be in some long-term monogamous relationship or get married or whatever your purpose may be. Even if you're just trying to intentionally date to find a long-term sex partner, that don't mean you necessarily want to jump in and out of bed with every single person you meet. But I swear, after the first day, they act like you just supposed to lay down with them because y'all are physically attracted to each other. And who cares about being physically attracted if the person is a booty hole? Like nobody cares.
It seems so transactional, and for me, that's a huge turnoff. Like, I want to take some time to get to learn this person to see if I really like them. But I will tell you that it does backfire because once you're aware of who they are and it's not just cute and it's not fun and you getting to know him, sometimes you never actually get to the sex
That's true.
because you be like, oh, I can't. Not with you. You done made her dry up.
Right, because they be crazy. Because I also found as I am getting older, things that I probably would let fly when I was in my 20s, I don't let fly anymore. And I also was telling my guy friend in Chicago, I was like, I don't like it when men talk nasty. Like
Mm-mm.
you can't just walk up to me telling somebody I wanna, lick this or eat that. I'm just like, ew.
I
Like,
just think
cause
about how
who else
many.
you talking to?
Ooh,
Right?
that
Who else?
part.
How
That
many other
part.
people you
Because
saying that to? Cause really,
what's all been in your mouth, sir?
I
And then to
mean,
kiss you? Oh, no.
I
I
mean, I
cannot.
literally met this guy and he was just like, I'm sure you taste good. You gonna let me try it? And I'm just like, sir,
Did
I
that
don't even
work
know
for
your
you?
last name, sir. Sir, excuse me, sir. Yeah,
To
it's
think that that line really works, though.
I mind my business and stay in the house. That's why I be in the house because it's the place to be. Can't nobody get you in the house.
It's safe in the house.
It's safe in the it is safe in the house on your couch, curled up with your favorite pillows and fuzzy socks, drinking some hot tea watching whatever you want to watch to decompress. Because these
Mm-hmm.
streets, these streets is not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
They is not for the weak. And people wonder, why you don't be dating? Because men be crazy.
I'm a strong believer in what's for me will find me.
Yep, and it's gonna have to find me in the house on the couch. That's where it's gonna find
Well,
me.
that's where the problem lies because
Yeah, yeah.
it can't find you
That's
on
what
the
they
couch.
always say. That you in the house, how you gonna meet somebody in the house? Because when I'm outside, I just get people making lewd comments
Yes.
and irrational suggestions about what they want to do to my body that they just met 5 minutes ago. So it's
You
safe in the
don't
house.
even know me.
You don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. I might like to stab people when I have sex. Now you cut up looking crazy. Like, why you ain't tell me? Why we just met? You ain't even asked me no questions about myself. So that's what you get. Now you got cut.
Now you
See?
cut.
So I don't know what to tell you. People don't even ask. A lot of people like getting choked. A lot of people like all kind of stuff. Now we having sex. You might not like to get choked, but I might like to choke all my partners out. Now you dying. Now you dying, and you look at me like I'm crazy because you suffocating.
And
But
you are.
this might be turning me on. Like you don't even know. You didn't ask no questions. We didn't have no conversation about sex. We didn't talk about any of the things that go along with sex. You just met me 5 minutes ago. You like, ooh, I just want to come home with you. Why? Ain't nothing in my house. I don't have no groceries. Ain't nothing in my refrigerator but lettuce. I can make you a smoothie. That's it. That's all I got. I got some hot tea. Ain't nothing in my house but sci-fi and aliens. You don't want nothing over here? Nothing. That's all I gotta say about that. You don't want nothing over here.
So I do think it's important for you to date intentionally, because you don't want to lead to that. You don't want to waste your time. If you have goals that you will aspire for marriage, family, children, you need to have a timeline. And so I believe that we as women need to be strong enough to say no.
To say absolutely unequivocal no and walk away and be okay with walking away. It's like negotiating a contract. You have to be okay with walking away.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with not getting a sale. You just have to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It might save your life because you're not gonna get business from everybody. So you just have to be. That is one of the rules of negotiation. Be okay with walking away.
Right. And also, no does not mean closed door. It next opportunity.
Right.
Move on.
Exactly. And even if a man hears no, they be like, well, it's all over. You just acting some kind of way. But why can't we just be friends?
You already sleeping with Bethany and Rebecca. Why you got to sleep with me too?
Like, I don't need to be included in your throuple and polyamorous tri-ruple or whatever you got going on.
Especially you trying to split the dates. Did you hear about that?
What?
Where people are going on first date and splitting the bill.
See, now lies like a rug because ain't no way. You done already talk freaky to me. You gonna ask me on a date and you ain't even gonna pay?
No.
This is another
Can
reason why I stay in the house
because
I can feed
myself. That's another reason why you can't get none. You know what I mean? What you supposed to do with that?
I can feed myself. I take myself out on dates. Ladies, date yourself.
Yes.
Please, date yourself. And men, you listening, be okay with these women outside dating themselves. Let them live in their peace.
Okay. Homegirl, I have a great time with my homegirl.
I mean, go out with your girls, and me and y'all should go out with y'all guys. And y'all should go out with y'all guys, just hang out with y'all guys, not to be looking for girls. Mm-hmm. For real. Because most of y'all having sex with 4 or 5 people anyway. Y'all don't need to be having sex with all them people in the first place.
But it's a lot out here in these streets.
Everybody needs to learn how to enjoy themselves so they can learn how to be with other people in a happy space.
Or be by yourself.
And be by your doggone self. Because it's amazing.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, all the time and peace I have to work out and work on my mental, stability. And, it's hard out here for a pimp. I'm trying to tell y'all.
What was it you told me before?
What? What I tell you? I be saying all kind of stuff.
I don't mind taking myself out on a date because I'm going to call me.
I mean, I'm for real. That's what I said. I said, I don't mind taking myself out on a date. I treat me well. I feed me well. I treat me nice. And I'm going to call me back the next day and make sure the date went all right. I'm like, yeah, girl, we going out again next week. All right. And I'm going to make plans for the next time. I sure am. Sure am. Because that is the way to be. I don't care what nobody say. These people out here not living their best life. And all these women out here complaining about men. You can't even focus on them. You got to focus on you. And
Mm-hmm.
what you say, what's for you will find you, and what's for
Yes.
you will find you. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all you can do. If you outside hiking, you might meet a man hiking. If you outside sipping tea on somebody's veranda in front of some French bistro, you might run up on, John Q somebody right there. You just never know. You got to meet people where you are. And I know a lot of people doing all this online dating and things like that. And that's fine too. But if that man shows up and he start acting and talking crazy, you are free. Walk away. Ain't nobody shackled you. Ain't nobody sit. Walk away. Be like, you know what, sir? My peace is way more important. I'm gonna have to roll up out of here.
That brings me into another dating trend, which is they categorize it as retro dating. And because you mentioned actually being out hiking in your
Yep.
element, and just meeting people
Mm-hmm.
in real life, right?
Yep.
IRL, as they say.
IRL.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, so 1 in 5 singles have tried offline dating, which is meeting through friends, community events, or even classified ads.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those would be considered like Craigslist.
Yeah, they have those meetups and stuff like that. Those meetup groups, so you can meet people who are like minded, and y'all can kind of meet in one space. And
Yeah, I've
yeah,
been
it's
to
kind
some.
of
Have
like
you done
that.
that?
I've been to. I think I went to one with you,
Yeah,
and I kind of signed up for it, but never really went to any of it because I was just like,
but I've been to some, like hiking events and everything like that because it's what
oh
I
yeah,
like
we
to
went to
do.
that hiking. Yep, yep.
And one of our friends kind of met somebody, but kind of didn't because, yeah, remember?
They met somebody.
Well, she walked and talked with him,
Oh right,
but then I was thinking because we were in the woods.
right.
Maybe
I
that's
mean,
not it. Because, like you said, she didn't even like him, but she was kind of stuck with him until we got back. So maybe
right,
that's
because we was stuck.
so
We was
that's
stuck
not
in the
really a good
woods.
example. And then for me, like when I'm out in public and stuff, I'll be on a mission, So
Yeah.
mm.
I wouldn't even mind if I was in public, hiking, shopping, whatever, and a man approached me. As long as he approached me like he had some good sense. Not like I'm in the produce section and he like, ooh, I'm sure you sure taste like this peach. Bruh.
Ugh,
Bruh. I am trying to get my vegetables and fruits
sir.
for the week, sir. I am not trying to hear this in the grocery store in the middle of Kroger or Trader Joe's. No, no, sir. No,
Mm-mm.
sir.
I'm
That is
just
not the place to be.
reaching for the
Like now,
Samoas, and
if
here
you
you
came
go.
up here and was like, "Oh my God, you are so beautiful," or at least make some
Mm-mm.
general conversation, like maybe see something in my buggy and be like, "Oh my God, I love those. Do you like those? What do you think about this?" And start a general conversation. If you don't, I mean, men need to figure out how to run. They have no game anymore. I don't think men
No.
have no game. They will stare at you and walk clean away and then swear women out here crazy. But then the first thing they want to say to you is something freaky.
Yeah, yeah.
Foolery.
So I recently heard about this girl. Some girl on the internet. She was talking about when she like a man, she go and she like 3 or 4 of his pictures on Instagram. That's it.
I'm not even getting on your Instagram. I just met you.
That
Like if
too.
I'm on your Instagram, we together. We are together. We in a relationship. Cause if we just dating, you don't need my Facebook. I don't need your Instagram. Why?
See, I think that's more of the younger generation. What do we say? Under 30?
Maybe,
Maybe
maybe,
no. 30s too, right? They
maybe.
do it. They're all on the internet and everything like that.
I don't
I don't
know.
understand. Like, how do you even? Because my page is private. Maybe these are public pages.
I don't care how many pages they is. I'm still not gonna go on nobody's page, even if they do got a public page, and be liking all their pictures if we're just dating.
Don't say anything. So she doesn't say anything. She
I
just
don't care.
goes
I'm
and she
not
likes,
touching it.
like she said, she liked like 3 to 6 pictures, and
Yeah,
then
foolery,
that's her shooting her shot
foolery,
instead of saying anything.
foolery. That's what that is.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm single.
Yeah, that's why I'm single because apparently I don't know all the tricks of the
I
trade.
didn't. I just thought people like my pictures.
I'm not doing none of that. And if some random dude that I had just met was stalking me on Facebook and Instagram and liking my pictures, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so creepy. Because first of all, you didn't even ask to follow me. Like,
Right.
it'll be different if you was like, oh, let me follow you, you follow me, or whatever. But we may have went out for coffee, and then next thing I know, you all up on my Facebook liking all my, bruh, that's creepy. I feel like it's stalkerish vibes. I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm gonna be like, not today and not tomorrow. No,
But the
thank you.
more I think, like when you were talking about the different ways that he could approach you in the grocery store, all of those were kind of cringe for me. Like, don't be
I
looking at my buggy. Like,
don't, don't be
why
looking at my bucket. I mean, but I would feel better. You come up here and say, "Oh, I haven't tried that item or whatever it is. Do you like it?" If you have no other way to feel like you could start a conversation. But hello always works.
Yes, yes,
Hello, a
yeah.
nice smile. Oh my God, I just saw you over here looking real nice. I would really like to take you out and get to know you. Seem like something, or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. They don't have no game. They need to come. They need to come up with something else besides this freaky stuff. Because I don't know about other women, but it's such a turn off to just literally go up to somebody who you don't know, or even if somebody you only knew for like 1 or 2 dates. You went out and all of a sudden you just like, oh my God, sop you up with a biscuit. Like, sir, I am not a country meal, sir. No, no sopping, no biscuits. No.
Now, I have been approached in public by young men.
Ooh, look at you,
Like,
cougar.
but that's the thing.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I'm not open to really dating younger men. I've been trying to open my mind to it.
Girl.
Because maybe they're not as emotionally unavailable as some of these older men. Because these 40 plus year old men, hunty. I'm starting to realize why they are single.
Girl.
Why they are childless free.
These young men love them some love them some older
I like to say
older
seasoned.
women. Yes. Okay, so another dating trend that was mentioned in the article was love bombing and ghosting. Emotional manipulation tactics and disappearing acts are replaced with honest, open, effective communication. So a lot of people these days have been meeting people, engaging them real deeply for like a week or so, go out a couple times, and then they just disappear instead of communicating and say, hey, you know what? I just don't like you, or I'm not feeling you, or it's not working for me, or whatever the case may be. And then I don't know too much about the love bombing part. Do you know about that?
Yeah. So love bombing is when you meet somebody and all of a sudden they just start acting like you have a deeper connection than what you have. They're like, oh, I keep thinking about you.
Yeah.
Or they might actually use they actually might use the L word, really soon, and it just feels uncomfortable. And you know who do that a lot? Hobosexuals. They be trying to find somewhere to go. It's cold outside, especially in the wintertime. Yeah. They be trying to find a hot cot. Yes. So let me go get up under her real quick.
Yes, they do. They absolutely unequivocal do. I had a man that I knew him maybe 2 days, and he kept trying to come over my house. And I'm like, why are you trying to come over my house? Like, I just met you. I don't want you over my house. I don't even want to go over your house. Like, we can go outside. I told him that. I was like, we can go outside. Like, I like to go outside. I like to walk. I mean, we could do something else, but why would you want to come lay up over my house? Because ain't nothing over here but aliens and sci-fi and blankets and fuzzy socks and tea. And you don't want none of that. And I think a lot of times men think that if once they over there, they gonna get some. You gonna get cut. You don't want to come over here. Don't do that. Don't do that. So all of that foolery with the love bombing and ghosting, I really shouldn't do none of them, because if you ghost somebody who crazy, you might be a ghost. So you better watch out, because you don't know these people. You didn't love bombed them and made them fall in love with you, or at least fall deep in like or whatever, and they might be on their last relationship after somebody done treated them horribly, and they like, ooh, you the one. Next thing I know, you over here doing the fool, and now you a ghost.
So have you ever ghosted somebody?
I don't think so. I generally just tell people leave me alone. I don't think I've ever really ghosted somebody. If I did, it was probably unintentional. I just tell people leave me alone. But most of the time, people just know it ain't gonna work. Cause now I have not talked to people. Like if you keep messaging me and talking to me crazy, I just won't talk to you back. But it wasn't like we was together or we were dating. Or I feel like the ghost is when you thought you were something that was a living entity
But just because you
together.
didn't think y'all was something doesn't
Oh,
mean that they didn't
oh,
think
he
y'all was
didn't think
something.
so either. Because if you're not consistent, I don't consider that ghosting if I don't call you. If I don't call you, but you ain't called me, then that's not ghosting. That's us just not talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like the ghosting thing, it has to be one side has to be a little bit more heavy on the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, are you really ghosted? Or even if y'all mutually invested, say y'all mutually invested, y'all both calling each other, y'all both like, going out and doing all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Now you like, what the heck happened to him?
Yeah, that's what ghosting
right,
is. Yeah.
exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
either way, it's like, well, he just disappeared off the face of the earth. But like I said, if that woman already knows your address, you might be a ghost because she might be crazy.
And that's another thing. You will not know where I live.
I'm not. That's why I don't like people coming to my house. Because why?
I mean, we could just meet. That's why I like the fact that I live in in Atlanta, because
all these people got free. All these parking lots is free parking. We can meet right
well,
there
I
at the
ain't say about
mall.
that, but it's traffic. You're not gonna want to come way where I live, and I'm not gonna want to come way where you live.
That part
meet
too.
me downtown.
We can meet in the middle. We can meet me in the middle. But it's a whole song. I'm telling y'all, it's not worth it. These men out here are doing the most, and I don't want to sound like it's men because it's women too. It's some women, crazy women out here too. It's crazy women out here love bombing and using men and ghosting them and stuff like that. But I think all of us adults need to be more aware of how we're treating each other, because again, since we're treating each other badly and we don't even know each other, you might get cut.
Right, but I do think that delusion is a thing. There are delusional people because,
people are delusional.
One of my experiences is like I met this guy and everything that he said to me was it was real icky, and I thought that I made it clear that I was not interested in anything. And so a couple weeks later, he texted me. He was like, "Yeah, I think we should be friends." And I'm like, first of all, we're not friends, and I thought that was clearly not stated. Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I didn't say, but I was like, yeah, no, like this ain't what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I had this one guy, man, let me tell y'all. When I tell you the chemistry was there, it was there. It was amazing. Like I don't think I ever felt that much chemically attracted to another person in my life. But when I tell you he was such a booty hole, he was a booty hole. And he kept wanting to date. He kept wanting to date. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But I did give him a couple of tries, and he just kept acting like a booty hole. And then he wasn't consistent. See, that's a big thing. You have to be consistent, because if you're not consistent, I'm like, oh, okay, you're not really interested, and now you're wasting my time. We don't have to talk every day. But if you say, hey, if you be like, hey, I'm gonna call you on Friday so we can schedule something to do for the weekend or the upcoming week, and I don't hear from you from 2 weeks, I assume you have left me alone,
or
right?
died.
Or you died. I mean, either way. I ended up talking to the guy again, and I brought it up, and he was just like, I don't need you. I just wanted something. Blah 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 blah. Saying all this stuff, I'm like, okay, goodbye. Because I told him, I said, I feel like you're just wasting my time because you're not being consistent. And I don't know if men know this, but that's a really big thing. If you are really interested, even if you're just interested in dating a person on a regular basis, even if you don't know you want to be in a relationship with that person yet, but if you're interested in dating this person, seeing this person multiple times over the course of a whatever time period that may be, you still need to be consistent so that they will want to go with you. Otherwise, they're not going to want to hang out. They're not going to want to go. They're not going to talk to you. They're not. Everybody's going to be over it. She's going to be like, why? Like, why am I going?
Yeah, I don't like confusion at all.
Exactly. It's what they say. Confusion is it's the whole thing.
It's a red flag for me.
I mean, really, Really, it really is. It's a big red flag.
Mm-mm.
As soon as they come in there talking about all this, oh, you know, I don't really know why I ain't call you. Oh, okay, but you're a whole grown adult male, right? Right.
They know why they ain't call you because they was with that other girl.
Right, them 4, 5 other chicks. That's why I be like, you don't even need me. I don't need to be in your life.
Like, why we can't just be friends?
You don't need me, bruh.
Better yet, we don't have to be friends.
We ain't got to be nothing. We can be strangers. Let's be strangers.
Why we can't just say, oh, you know, because dating is supposed to be your opportunity to gain the information about this person to see if this is your person or not. There's no level of commitment that needs to happen other than that experience unless you are communicating that.
Yep. Pretty much. It's just an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Brings me to another dating trend that the article mentions was experiential intimacy led dating. Right? Couples and singles prioritize dates that create shared memories and connections. Think art classes, cooking together, hiking, wine tastings, concerts, and even dance lessons. Dating is more than just talking over dinner. It's about experiencing life together, even if it's just for the moment. So like you said, just at that moment. Like you go out with somebody, you have a good time, doing whatever you decide to do, skating, looking at the stars, whatever. And it's just the experience. You're just enjoying the experience. And in the experience, you may find intimacy and want to see that person again to have another experience. It has nothing to do with sex or any of this other foolery that people think relationships about. It's just enjoying each other through the experiences that you all share.
Now I like that. I'm down with that. Especially if that is a mutually understood, right? Because I mean, it's kind of like what you do with your friends. You know, you go out, y'all have these experiences, y'all have a great time, and then you go home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would prefer to have that than somebody, trying to mislead me,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to conquer me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I really think like these men, well, I shouldn't say men, but people, right? They enjoy the hunt, and they will use whatever type of tactic and manipulative behavior to get what they quote unquote want from you. Whereas, if you were just open and honest, maybe you're gonna get that anyway. How you know I don't want to smash real quick?
I mean, for real. I mean, say that. Say that, because I might be okay with that. But just know, if we have sex, we probably ain't gonna have a relationship.
Right. But at least give me the opportunity to think that, for myself, to make that decision for myself. I am a whole adult.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always, that's why, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I'll be at home.
I'll be at home, minding my business, living my best life. I'm trying to tell you.
That's why self-love is important.
Self-love. You have to love yourself and care for yourself in any which way you feel necessary at the moment.
Of Tiana Taylor, self-love is the best love.
It's the absolute. Because in the end, all you're going to have is you anyway.
Okay.
Because they could die. And then you by yourself again.
But it's about the experience.
It's about the experience, right? So then you got nice experiences to think back on. You got good memories because you like, oh my God, he took me to the top of the mountain. We just laid there and looked at the stars and talked about the future or whatever. Or he took me to this amazing tasting and we enjoyed wines and talked about this, that, and the other. It's about the experience. But men don't even want to cultivate experiences for dating. OMG. I dated a guy who couldn't plan a date to save his life. I was like, I need to really, you are a whole grown adult person who's been living in the city longer than I have been living in the city because I'm a transplant. They want to call it transplant. Either way, I didn't grow up in Atlanta. So how I know more about what's going on here than you do? That makes absolutely no sense. 1. 2, you are a whole grown adult man who has dated before, been married, lived a whole life, and you don't know how to plan a date. You are going to stay single, sir.
He sounds boring.
Sir, because I was just flabbergasted. I was thrown back. I was like, I, I, I didn't even have no words. I didn't have no words because if I'm planning all the dates,
you shouldering all the work.
I'm not giving you no energy. I mean, I'm gonna crack a joke because I'm always gonna crack a joke. However, it's I'm gonna need you to put forth some effort to and the 1-2 days he did playing was kind of sucky. Even after I told him everything that I liked, I'm like, this is what I like to do. This is what and I'm easy. Like we could just go hiking. Really, like I'm good with that hiking.
You don't mind being
and
stuck
a brunch
in the woods with a man.
I mean, because I know how to stab people. I got a nice. Hiking in a nice brunch or something or whatever. It's real easy. I feel like to date in a place where it's hot 99% of the time. It's not like we're in Chicago where it's winter 99% of the time. Then it's like, okay, well, we in the house eating chili because it's cold outside. But it's warm here. Like, all the time. Like, we can do pretty much anything we want to do. I'm confused about why you having a problem with scheduling a date. So I will say this to you men, y'all need to be a little bit more proactive. Creative, proactive, something. Research, I don't know. And figure out some creative dates. So, women can be like, okay, I need to go out with him again. He was doing it. Girl, let me tell you what he did. We went to this little cute art class, and then we walked by the park, and he took me to dinner. We had these cute little cocktails at his little favorite watering hole, whatever.
Not a watering hole.
Yeah, watering hole bar, whatever people call it. I'll be in the house. I'll be in the house. So I don't know.
Hole. I thought you actually meant like a pond. You talking about a bar?
Yeah, that's what they call them, water holes. You want a pond? Girl, we gonna drink at a pond. Well, I mean,
it's a Chattahoochee. You can walk around the Chattahoochee. They got trails.
Yeah, no, not
a watering hole. I've heard it all.
People know what a watering hole is. I will hope. Okay. If you don't, it is a bar. It is, your local watering hole is generally where you're gonna have all of your libations. Okay.
Okay. Well, girl. So I did find a few dating trends. One that I actually practice is called sex recession. And apparently 30% of singles under 30 and some over 30 are voluntarily celibate for over a year, citing emotional safety and dating app disillusionment. For me, yes, I'm all about it because first of all, I don't like sharing my body with just anybody, right? I like my body count low. And plus, like, I am a very, I don't know, I feel energy, and I don't want all of them, what her name, Bethany, Beckany, right. Sarah, Maria, what all of them say?
Her name was Shonda, Letitia, Keisha, whatever DMX say. Oh, right. What that other song say they got made? I need a little bit of that in my life.
A little baby by my side.
A little bit of Keisha every night. Yeah, I'm not in
I don't need them with
that.
me and all of their drama and trauma in my energy. So no, I don't. And plus, I just feel like from my experiences that I don't want to get dick whipped.
That digmatized. That is a thing.
Or addicted.
That too. That too. I don't want to be anything attached to somebody who we need to be together.
Right. We need to be in a because I just feel like that bring out a whole nother side of me and I like to keep her in the tuck until I'm ready for her to come out. You know what I'm saying? I don't need everybody to see her. Everybody don't need to know her, And when she gets out, it's hard to put her back. So why would I do myself like that? Especially when there's no foundation to depend upon. If it's mid, what if it's mid? Now I done got another body for no reason. I can't do that to myself,
girl. Look, that's why I be in the house. Girl, because let me tell you, watching some sci-fi ain't really ever disappointed. Because I'll be posted. Like, what is that alien finna do to them people? Look at that. Look at that. They should have stayed in the house. They should have stayed in the house. They outside in them streets getting ate up by zombies and aliens. Leah, be in the house because you're absolutely right. These, it don't even be worth it. They don't give you anything to invest in, to vest in, to anything. You just sitting around, and like you said, it could not even be great sex. So now you're just having sex, and you're looking at
And
him
don't
like,
nobody
bruh,
got time for that.
what is the problem? Like, first of all, I don't even know how you get to be this old and not even be good at it. So you've been having sex with Bethany, Keisha, and Teresa, and you didn't have all this practice, and you ain't even good at it.
And you splitting the bill? There's something wrong with Teresa and Keisha and all of them women.
like for real. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand what the malfunction is because, I mean.
And dating in 2025 and 2024 and 2023 requires you to date multiple people at the same time. You cannot just be smashing things out there.
And that's how people, even besides the things that's out there, and if you are going to be doing it, you need to be ethically doing it. You need to be telling the people, hey, I'm having sex with Keisha, Trina, and Sandra, and I want to have sex with you too. Don't be not telling people, because you could not tell me.
Why do you have to have sex with me too?
That's what I'm saying. I do not need to be on the list at all. Like, for real, I don't even want to be in a running. I don't want to be on deck. I don't want to be nowhere near any of this. However, you should be telling all of the people involved. Yeah. Because what if I don't know? Like, say I'm in it. I'm like, okay, Tom, okay, we can do it. I'll be number 4. I'll be Thursday. And then next thing I know, I go outside. I see you outside on Friday with Sandra. And I'm like, stab, because I didn't, because maybe I didn't know about them, right? So if I knew, that's different. If I knew and I'm like, okay, I'm number 4, whatever. I'm going to be quiet. But if I don't know, now I got to cut you. Because I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
And I'm not violent, people. I'm not violent. That's why I be in the house. Me and my knives.
So you got the other side too.
But if you done fooled me into thinking we're in some relationship and you loving on me and dating me, and next thing I know, I see you outside with Sandra, and I mean, am I supposed to just not say no?
Well, technically, you're not supposed to say anything, because if he communicated,
that's
then you would know.
I would know
that you were Thursday, right? And today,
right?
It's Saturday.
You play your position.
Play your role.
If you know, but if you don't know,
now he at risk.
Now he at risk for stab.
Yes, just stab.
A little stab.
What's that music?
Right. Like all that Jason horror music. Nightmare on Elm Street. Slash, cut. Because, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I feel like men be playing with their lives a little bit. Because, like I said, now I probably would just be like, okay, well, I see what it is and keep it moving.
Right.
But, what if that woman is psychologically, on edge? And she just be like, you could get stabbed in a restaurant with a chicken bone.
Right.
And then you looking crazy.
Right.
And you like, what happened? Because you didn't tell her she was 4th and 5th on the list.
Right.
I'm just trying to say. And then I always wondered this too. So I had this guy tell me he wanted to have sex with me too, right? Now I was going to be 5th on the list or something. And I was like, no, sir.
Now, what even makes that
it didn't make
appetizing?
No sense at all. But I was just like thinking in the whole grand scheme of sex anyway. You gonna be tired.
Mm-hmm.
You done had sex with 4 other people this week. You ain't gonna have time for me, energy for me.
I just feel like it's dirty.
But even outside of all of it, even if everything was clean and pristine and wasn't nothing in the world, you still gonna be tired. They barely have energy when they got one person.
It's
right.
The 5th race this week.
Right. When you got one person, you barely got energy. Now you gonna want to add 4, 5 people to the mix. Bruh, that don't even make no good sense. I'm trying to make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. Like, I'm just make it make sense. Because now, like you said, if you come over here and I'm like, okay, I'm cool with being 5. But then the sex sucks. I could have just stayed in the house and had a VA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even need to be trying to do this at all.
Some dark chocolate.
Oh, some chocolate, some ice cream, some cake, some pie.
All of that.
Took myself out on a nice day and call me back the next day. You see what I'm saying? It could have all worked out. Look, I could have treated me real nice, had a massage. I could have did some self-care.
Had brunch with the girls.
I mean, live my absolute unequivocal best life, and now you over here messing it up because you didn't have sex with other people this weekend. Now today you tired. I just want to lay down. No, you want to lay down? You could have laid down at your own. Get away from me. And this is why I stay in the house. Yeah. And I'm be by myself. Yeah. Because that's just where we are in this world today. Yeah. It's hard out here for a pimp. Yeah.
But not really, because, you know, like, being alone does not mean that you're lonely.
It does not.
I am not lonely at all.
At all. Plus, I'm stupid. I'll be at home entertaining myself. I'll be cracking up. And sometimes I call people and tell them how funny something was I thought about. It'd be hilarious. So I'll be perfectly fine. I feel like the men the one missing out. I'm like, y'all missing out. I'm funny. I'm hilarious. I have my moments, and sometimes I just be on it, and y'all missing out because y'all too about sex. See?
Yeah, and so one of the last trends that I wanted to bring up, and all of this is kind of been led up to it, you know, as far as us having multiple relationships, friendships, and everything. Some people are choosing platonic life partnerships. Yep. Apparently, 15% of millennials and Gen Z are opting for a legally non-romantic but committed partnership.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to be. Get your best friend and live your best life. Mm-hmm. High five. Whether it's male, female, whoever, and just live your best life. It don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple women who bought a house together and raised their children together instead of having, you know, two single parent household. They just, you know, were friends.
Yeah. Because, I mean, why not? First of all, everything out here high now. It's everything high. Girl, avocados, $40. Mm-hmm. Everything costs an arm and a leg. Mm-hmm. And a torso. Right. And a couple of braid extensions. And everybody gonna be living with somebody at some point. Because houses high, life high, air high, food high. It's hard out. It's just ridiculous. I only gotta feed me. And I spent $40 on some onions and a dang on pepper. I'm still trying to figure out what I bought from the store that cost $40.
What?
Girl, I already had the meat and the wraps at home. I went and I got 2 onions, 1 red pepper, not the 3-pack that cost $5-6. Yeah. 1 red pepper. I got some salsa and 2 bottles of electric light water. And it was like $40. And I'm like, I was at the restaurant like, how is this $40? Yeah. I had one, and I had got some cashews, which was like,
there you go, right there. But that was like $7.99.
No, they was only $4. They was only $4. They was what, $4.99 or $3.99, something like that. But even still, that shouldn't have been $40. I'm still trying to figure out how I spent $40 because it ain't nothing in my refrigerator.
You know what I think? I think that we should get a discount if we have to do self checkout.
That part, because I went to the store real early, so none of the real cashiers was there, and I did have to check out. Yeah. And I think if you got the work, they should give you $20 off.
Right. Automatically. All them fees they got on there. We should have a self-checkout fee.
If you are at the self-checkout, they should automatically deduct $20 from your order. Yeah. Automatically.
So sometimes they probably should owe me money.
I mean, for real. Because somebody is probably going to end up living with some platonic or non-platonic friend at some point because everything is just going to be so ridiculously high. And that's why I don't understand why men and women too, but why people are just so hesitant about being in committed long-term relationships, because it not only helps out, with companionship, but it helps out monetarily, in the long run. It's like, oh, he got it or she got it or we splitting it, however y'all doing it. At least it's not all of the financial burden is on you or one person for the whole household. Because that's how it is for me. And trust me, it is hard out here for a pimp. However, I do it. Because what are you going to do? But if men weren't so reluctant to share their lives with people, but they want to wait till they get all broke and crippled to try and find them a wife. And ain't nobody going to want them unless they retiring people. That's why they end up with 20-year-olds who got to pay for.
Right. And she got a boyfriend.
Right, because he crippled and broke. His stuff don't even work no more.
Right. But me personally, being a member of the happily ex-wife club,
Happily ex-wife, happily divorced,
ecstatically divorced club. I don't know about living with no man because I just think about all it comes with for me. Now I could do the platonic partnership because my friend, I don't, unfortunately, I'm heterosexual, right? It's very unfortunate because I don't think men really like women like women like, oh, I want to hang out with her. I don't think that.
No.
I think that men be like, oh, what can she do for me? How is she beneficial to me? What she bring to the table?
I live spirits. That's right? What I do.
But if I had a Golden Girls household, right, that would be my best life because we splitting the bills and everything. The house is still clean. I don't have any extra chores. I don't have to worry about cooking nobody because some of us was taught by what's the people? What are our parents? Not boomers. What are they? Gen X, to take care of your man. And some of them remnants have, kind of trickled down. But you haven't had that experience where your mom was like, "Oh, you need to cook for your."
My mom died when I was 6, girl. So I don't even know. Okay. But he got 2 arms.
Yeah, but my mother and my grandmother was like, "Oh, he shouldn't be in the kitchen. You should serve your man." And da 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 da.
He might not like the plate. I'll fix him. He might not have enough food on it. I'll be like, he don't need that much.
Well, true, but I don't want to do all of those things. You know what I mean? I just want to. So I think that the platonic partnership would work for me, like a Golden Girls household. I think that would be ideal for me.
I said I was going to get a Golden Girls house. I said, by the time me and my friends probably good 50, 55, if we are still out here singling, living single, we go ahead and just roll on up on a nice big house and live our best lives, because highly doubt any of us can be 55, 60 times we finna jump anybody's broom. Highly doubt it. Yeah, I don't see that. But I got some years left for that. But I said that'll be probably a good time because whatever homes we own, we could just sell and buy one big house.
Yeah.
Or one small house. Whatever. A house just to accommodate however many people live in there, and then we could just chill in the Ville. And then you'll always have somebody to take care of you when you're sick, or if you break a hip as you age. You're not gonna be in a house alone. You have automatic travel buddies. All of that. It's built in benefits. Since men don't want to act right, But it's just crazy.
It works for men too. Like, can you imagine 2 men, bros, living together? You know what I mean? They could always have hoes.
Right.
Their house might. Well, nowadays it might be clean, right?
It's just
they can hire what is it, the little maid to come in, Molly maid.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about 4 50-year-olds living together. That's a little different. 4 50-year-old men.
Why?
I think that would be. I wouldn't date you. Ooh, I don't know. It was. Now it's different when women are together because we don't make as much as men. It's a whole plethora of reasons for safety, for all kinds of things. That women would, combine resources, especially as we age. Mm-hmm. But a man really should have just got him a woman. For one,
well, maybe that's why you're gonna get that 20-year-old.
Men have so many more options than women because women outnumber men. So they have so many options, and they don't take advantage of any of them. So they're just setting themselves up for the okie doke for when they get 55, 60, and then time some crap. I'm still by myself. Well, what did you expect, sir? You've been playing the field. You've been playing the field.
But it's a lot of men like that you see right now that
it is
still acting 20
and still trying to play the
50,
field,
60 and getting lawsuits.
As soon as they break and getting lawsuits. You ain't never lied, losing 20, 30, 50, $50 million.
Girl,
all that foolery, trying to date
was enough.
And then
Too much.
And then how could you get yourself on recording saying you was gonna choke somebody? Like you have got.
Like you don't have nothing to lose.
First of all, I'm not gonna choke nobody.
Mm-mm.
Not in real life. Like, and if I do, they gonna sign a waiver.
Do you consent?
Right, because I ain't going to JAIL for nobody.
Mm-mm.
However, it's very true. Like they will wait until they break their first hip or bone and then be like, crap, I need somebody to bring me something. Well, now you didn't play in your phone book. Ain't none of them trying to answer your calls. And they really ain't gonna answer your calls and be telling they gonna come over there and you in a cast and your hips broken. You need somebody to help you to the bathroom. They gonna be like, oh no, sir. No, sir, because as women age, especially nowadays with paying more attention to our health and working out, we are living our absolute best lives. We are
Yes.
fitter and stronger and mentally at peace because we're not dealing with a lot of this foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
We is not trying to do none of that.
We are happily divorced.
Right. Well, she is. But yeah, is happily single. I am open to dating. I'm open to having a long-term relationship, but I need it to be on all of the right terms. I need for him to approach it like he wants to have a relationship, like he wants to be in a long-term monogamous type situation. Otherwise, just leave me alone. Lord, leave me alone because it's foolish.
Yeah,
Foolish.
I am not. I mean, I could, I could see myself in a relationship, but it would have to be healthy.
Healthy.
It would have to be mutually beneficial. It would have to be mature. He would have to be communicative,
very communicative,
and all of the things and so that's why I don't have a lot of hope.
No hopes, no dreams, no aspirations. Not now.
What really, unless it's his personal desire, what motivates a man to show up for a woman when there's so many people who don't require anything?
Yeah, and that's because he has to want. He has to want that woman for whatever reason. He decides he wants that woman. Like people, most of the men I know who married and been married for a long time, they say they knew when they met her. Mm-hmm. Or at least within the first month, they knew. They was like, this is the one. Or not the one. So to dangle women around for 2-3 years, then lead them, and 2 months later end up married. You like, well, what the heck? You already knew you didn't want to be with that woman. But you just hung on to her just so you wouldn't be by yourself. Till you found one you actually did love. Then you left her and married somebody. Like, that's crazy. See, that's the kind of reason. That's another reason why people get cut. Because you be with me for 5 years, 3 years, how many years, and all of a sudden 2 months later we break up. You engaged and married.
Yeah, but is it really that she is the one, or is it that the timing is right in his life? Because
but I was with you when the time came, and you still decided to leave me.
But sometimes that's a deterrent because she was with me. You might have seen the worst of him. You might treat him like you still see that version of him, and now he's an upgrade. You might not see who he is today. Or you might have become mama to him.
I ain't doing none of that. So.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
it happens,
It does.
So maybe the timing is right in his life. He is establishing his career. He's where he wants to be. And this lady just happened to walk down the street. And he's like, oh, well, come on in because I'm ready for you now.
Well, good luck for them. But this is why women, again, you gotta have boundaries. You gotta have restrict. You can't just let people dangle you alone. If he ain't trying to marry you after a year, he probably is not gonna marry you. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that with any unequivocal evidence. I have none to give. But if he ain't even discussed marriage with you after a year, if that's something you want now, that's not something you want, then obviously don't worry about this. That was not for you. Mm-hmm. But if you want to be married and you've been with somebody for a year and y'all haven't even peripherally discussed it, like even just a little bit, he probably not really interested in marrying you. Probably not at all. And I mean seriously peripherally discussed it. Like you ain't have to have no 2-3 hour conversation, but at least you know that's what he wants. He knows that's what you want. You all have talked about a future together. It's not just all right now. It's all like, in 2 years and 5 years and 6 years and 10 years. If none of that has transpired, it's probably not looking good. But if that's not anything you want, then by all means live your best life. Experience the experiences and have all the good times you want to have with the person. I mean, that's really what it's about anyway.
Absolutely. Well, I did enjoy this discussion about dating trends. Do you think, out of the ones that we discussed, that there are some that will fade away in time? Because I know you mentioned before about ghosting not being a thing. I
I
feel like
think
it's still a thing, but
I think it's still a thing. I think people gonna keep ghosting people because people don't know how to communicate, and until people learn how to effectively communicate, they gonna be like, I'm just not gonna talk to that person no more. But I think online dating at some point is gonna disappear because people. I don't think people are having all that good luck with it. At least I haven't had good luck with it, but I don't know. Everybody's experiences may have did it. I also know people who've met men on online dating and got married and been
mm-hmm,
married for 10, 15 plus years at this point.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say it's just horrible or anything. I feel like people are gonna get back to more of the retro activities, meeting people in person, meeting people while they're out doing their normal everyday activities.
Or through
That
friends.
or through friends or at work or however you would at weddings. I guess they say meet people at weddings, but I don't know about that. But either way, wherever you would meet the people naturally, I feel like that's the best way to go. Instead of just meeting people online, because you'll just meet so many people online, and then you're gonna get jaded. That's probably where I am right now. So y'all can take everything I say with a grain of salt, but you're just gonna get jaded, and it's gonna be like, what am I doing with myself? Because it's gonna seem like such a big time suck when you could have just been outside enjoying your best life
Mm-hmm.
and maybe just run into somebody,
Right.
you know?
So you mentioned, some of the oldie but goodie ways that we used to date versus some of the new trends, right? So I just wanted to ask which is preferable. So I'm gonna give you two, and you just tell me which ones you prefer.
Okay.
Okay. Do you prefer somebody to text you or write you a love letter?
Um, it depends. Um, I would prefer if it's going to be a text, it doesn't have it just no more than like a few lines because then I'm like, oh my god, why did he send a paragraph? But if he's gonna write me a letter, I would probably prefer it was like an email.
An email?
Because I don't it take forever for me to check my mail. He be
Oh, you
like
are
this
really
chick.
thinking about this literally.
Well, yeah. If I meet some guy and he's romantic, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna write her a letter," and he's gonna be mad at me. He's like, "This chick never respond to say anything about this love letter because it's gonna be sitting in the mailbox because I probably didn't check my mail once a month, and I'm be like, I never got no letter from you, sir. So what are
I
you
was
talking about?"
not expecting that.
But
Okay.
even if you talking about, a proverbial letter,
Mm.
he can tell me all that stuff on the phone or in person and just be like, this my love letter to you. Let me just tell you how I feel. Okay,
You
I'm
don't
gonna
think a love
remember.
letter would be romantic? Remember
I
back in
mean,
the day, like
it'll
one
be
might smell like him, and it's a keepsake. Now you get to keep it.
girl. It would be fine, but it's gonna be in the mailbox for about a month before I get it.
So it's not even gonna smell the same.
I'm just saying we might be then broke up because he's like, this chick ain't never even mentioned nothing about the letter. I'm like, but I ain't know. I ain't know it was in there. But if he knew me, if he writing love letters to me, I would hope he know me well enough to know that I don't be checking my mailbox all the time. So he already know it's probably gonna take him at least 30 days to get a response. If he mail me something in the physical mail, US mail. He better send an email.
Okay. Okay, next question. Would you prefer a virtual reality date or going to a roller rink?
I'd rather go skating because I like going skating. So
That would be
roll
cute. Y'all
roll on.
skating and
Yeah,
doing
I
little
would go
tricks and
skate.
the little
Oh, now I don't do no tricks, but I go skating. I know how not to fall. That's what I got. I got
We're not
not
gonna talk
falling.
about me and skating.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem, but I know how not to fall. Um, yeah. So,
So
what
you would
about
rather roller
you?
rink? What, as far as a virtual date?
Like, would you rather have a love letter or a text?
Oh, I would love to have it. I am not a text person because that can be so like I don't know your tone. You know what I mean? But so I'm a phone call person. Like, let me hear you. Let me get the vibe through your voice. Your tone, all those different things. So if it was one of that when you get on my nerves.
Right, and be like, he was sweet that day. Right, right.
Yeah. So, okay, and then the last question is when thinking of flirting, back in the day, somebody might send you a mixtape that they created of different love songs. Or do you think it's more romantic for somebody to slide in your DMs?
If we don't know each other, if you're sliding my DMs, I mean we don't know each other.
Not.
So you can't even send me a mixtape because we don't know each other. So you can't have songs. What you gonna put songs on there? Can't wait to know you, girl. Boom, boom, bye. I saw you walking down the street. You look so fine. I just had to write this mixtape or make this mixtape. Like the songs would be irrelevant because he absolutely would know nothing about me. So that wouldn't make sense. Now, if we're together, we're gonna be together, and we was together.
There are songs like that though.
Yeah, but I don't want a whole bunch of songs about how I want to meet you. Cause
can't you see?
No.
No.
I don't want a whole bunch of mixtapes about girl I saw you in the grocery store. That sounds stalkerish. I see you standing over there. Really?
Okay, so you remember did you ever hear that Heather Headley song In My Mind? That song.
I feel like
when I heard it back, I was like, ooh, it sounded real good, but she was a little bit crazy because the lyrics, she said, "In my mind, I'll always be your lady.
Cause
in my mind, I'll always be your girl."
You see what I'm saying? Crazy. I'm good. It's just it give a little stalkerish vibe. It's not really my thing, But I mean, now if we together and he want to send me a mixtape, I think that would be cute because then he can kind of express his feelings through music. But then he wouldn't need to slide in my DMs because we know each other. He would just slide in my text messages or call me. But if we don't, and I'm still trying to figure out how he's gonna give me the music if he don't know me. But if he found a way to finagle some music to me because he a stalker and he sent me a whole bunch of songs, Thomas, I saw you walking down the street. Girl, I'm right behind you. Turn around and look, or whatever the songs is. I'm gonna be like, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, sir, no, ma'am, not today, not tomorrow, and I'm gonna call the police because I'm still gonna try to figure out how he got my address to send me this mixtape. So no.
Ooh, okay.
No, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for answering those questions.
All right.
I also wanted to just ask our listeners to write in, maybe send us a voice memo or a story about, one of your retro experiences or a dating disaster, just anything, that you would like to share with us.
Yes, or not so dating disaster. Just share some good news, right?
Like maybe you got married. Maybe you was one of the online people who ended up married.
Share with us your dating tips for 2025, so we can know and we can share and we can all help each other find whatever relationships we're trying to find. But thank you all for joining us today on Seriously Hilarious.
It's been real.
I'm V.
And I'm Shonda.
Have a good evening. Bye.